Hello and welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
You have some lipstick on your mouth from Valentine's Day.
Oh, well, you know,
yeah.
I got lucky in more ways than one.
Well.
I didn't have to go out.
Oh, you didn't have to wash your face.
Hey, you know, this is leap year, Michael.
Woo!
That's right.
I just leaped.
4 times a year, it's leap year.
Once every 4 years.
Once every 4 years, thank you. I was seeing if you're paying attention.
That's the mistakes I make.
Every 4 years, we have a February the 29th.
What?
Yeah, so we have one this month.
I have an appointment next year for February 29th.
You're going to miss it.
Change it.
And did you know every year that the town of Anthony, New Mexico, they're the leap year capital of the world. Did you know that?
You know why? Because you have to leap to get from Texas to
hop right across the border.
You're leaping
so
across.
We'll have more on leap year festivities down there.
So you can plan your day.
In the coming weeks.
Because many people don't plan for February 29th.
It just leaps up on them.
Yes, so that's when our gin tasting was supposed to be.
So what do we have here, Michael?
So, you know, last week, do you remember last week? Because I know we had a bunch of scotches, and we were doing scotches that came from different kinds of barrels. Like we had two.
Yes.
And we compared the two side by side. Both of them came from a bourbon and sherry casks.
Yes.
So you go into one and the other, and then we had our favorite. I don't remember what it was because we were drunk.
No,
and
we weren't. We don't get drunk.
I know, we don't drink.
Because we only taste. We don't drink.
We taste. We just
sample.
A little bibble of imbibement. And then the other one was single cask. One was a Chardonnay cask, which is straight wine cask, not sherry or bourbon, which is a little bit more flavorful. And the other one we did came from a red Bordeaux one, and that one was your favorite, and that was a Deanston.
Yes.
Deanston itself is a really good.
Now you wonder why these wineries get rid of their casks that have had wine in them for years and years and years. Why not keep those casks?
They don't. They're not allowed to. Not only are they not allowed to, Scotch companies buy casks, send them down to Spain and Portugal to get port or sherry flavoring. They perhaps send them the bourbon casks they get from America. Mm-hmm. And apparently bourbon distillers cannot reuse their casks, so they are a great place for the Scotch places to get it. There's one of my favorites, I think I mentioned last week, was a Caribbean cask by Balvenie.
Balvenie.
And that's with a rum cask.
Yeah, that's a famous old Scotch.
That's a pretty good one. Balvenie's good.
Well, let's try.
We're going to, here's the interesting thing for today. We have two Glenmorrays. So it's the same company. This is theoretically an 8-year-old because it doesn't have a time on it. This, of course, is a 10-year-old because it says 10 years old. Mm. On the other hand, this one, the 8, is a port cask finish. So speak about Portugal, you got a little port. So let's taste this one first.
Okay.
Your theory was...
Just a dram.
A wee dram.
A wee dram.
A wee dram.
Laddie.
I have to tickle your tonsils.
Okay. We just want to compare, see if we can tell the difference between an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old.
On the other hand, there's different casks, so...
That's true.
We'll see if we...
There's various influences that we're dealing with here.
It smells like the glass.
Okay.
That's a smooth one. It's not...
it's very nice.
It's got a little bite in front.
It's good Scotch.
Can you taste the port? Yeah, taste the port.
No.
It might sort of smooth out.
You don't really want to,
just
though.
know you know.
You know.
Okay.
Here's the 10-year-old.
We'll go for that. Oh, let's see if you can do as little as I can. That's too much. Oh, man, I'll never finish that.
I hope that's enough.
And I'm going to have some peanuts on the side. Oh, we didn't bring any. So 12?
This is 12. I'm going to have a little water first.
You're such a purist.
Okay. It does taste different.
Yeah, it does.
But a different cask.
Also does it with this Chardonnay. It's a little lighter flavor, but I think it's a more encompassing flavor. You know, my chief qualm is trying to describe stuff with using other, this tastes like butterscotch, this tastes like vanilla, but I think your whole mouthfeel and the way it fills up your palate is important, and I think there's more to your palate in the Glenmorangie.
Yes. With wine they say, oh, yes, it has hints of raspberry and strawberry. I don't know. I hardly ever take, give me one that's got hints of peanut butter and coconut.
Well, actually, the one that's peanut butter is there's a new bourbon out that's peanut butter.
Oh, yeah. Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they come out with broccoli, let me know.
Let's see. How much do we want? A little.
Enough so that
we can
what
drink
we add to it isn't overpowering it.
And with this, we're going to do a Cocchi, which is an Italian vermouth. And usually we had Cocchi Americano. Cocchi Americano sometimes is substituted for Lillet in Corpse Revivers.
Yes, we've had Cocchi several times on this show.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully this is still kicking Cocchi.
We frequently come back to it. And can you get Cocchi Americano in regular stores around here, Mike? Not Walgreens.
Okay, if I said yes, I'd be lying.
Not even
I'm not even. I don't think so.
I bet they get them for you. You probably have to go to
Oh,
Specs,
they
don't
would.
you?
Specs probably has.
They should have it.
Everybody should have Cocchi Americano because Cocchi Americano by itself is just great. And Cocchi Vermouth de Torino is just merely a token so that they make both sides of the vermouth flavor palette.
Yeah, I see.
So we chill these glasses. We never chill. Well, sometimes we chill them.
We chill these for a little bit, not as much as we might have.
Scotch needs a little chilling.
And it's going to be on
when
the rocks
you're
anyway.
mixing it. Oh, so the Rob Roy, without giving you a recipe, we did 2 ounces of Scotch and a ½ ounce of their vermouth.
This is what's known as a Rob Roy.
And what is a Rob Roy like?
Well, it's named after a real guy.
Yeah, and there was actually it's named after the play based on the real guy in England. Which came out in 1890.
Liam Neeson starred in the film Rob Roy back in 1997.
Do you want a twist of lemon?
Yeah, I'm sure.
97.
Let's see what that poster looks like. You'll probably have that somewhere.
Oh.
The Rob Roy poster. No, here's the Robbie. There he is, in all his tartan kilter.
This is quite pleasant. Don't you think? There's
Yes.
absolutely nothing acerbic. I mean,
Yes.
the bite that you were getting from the Scotch, the normal bite that feels like
Yes.
you're anesthetizing your mouth, it's sort of palliated from having the sweet vermouth.
Now, the sweet vermouth sometimes is adjusted to with some bitters. If
Yeah.
you want. We're not doing that today, but
You could do
that's
bitters.
an option.
We have a little lemon twist. So the Rob Roy, people usually get Manhattans, which is bourbon. It's the same thing as a Rob Roy, except made with bourbon.
Okay.
Or you could say the Rob Roy is the same thing as the Manhattan, except with Scotch.
Super Scotch.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer Scotch to bourbon anyway.
Yeah, but you don't want to waste good Scotch. But bourbon, you could use.
You're talking about American.
This
bourbon.
is really good, I think.
I like it very much.
Wow.
Did you watch the Oscars, Michael?
You mean Oscar the Grouch on Sesame
The
Street?
Academy Awards.
The Academy Awards.
Yes.
Oh, well, say what you want to say. Don't just give me code names. Yes.
And the best picture was Parasite. It also won Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best International Film.
Okay.
I disagree completely with the Best Picture nomination. Best Picture win and Best Director win. It was a fine movie, a very good film, but as far as cinematic experiences and achievements go, it could not stand up to 1917 or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes, but they were feeling a little guilty because they didn't nominate any women.
Well,
so
it's
they
got to do
wanted
with
to make
Koreans.
it into.
It was a Korean film.
Because it's a different, genre. A white guy directing a movie.
Well, Parasite was a Korean film with Korean subtitles.
It was
and
really good. We both liked it.
We liked it very much. But it didn't need to win all those awards. It wasn't the cinematic achievement that
It
some of
was-
those other films were.
Yeah, they should have gotten some sort of acclaim. Some of the parts got acclaimed, but
Once
not-
Upon,
yeah.
1917 won for Best Cinematography.
Yeah. Best supporting actor for Once Upon a Time.
Yes, Brad Pitt won for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Which is good.
He was magnificent.
Yeah, that was a good movie. You
was
have a
great.
lot of good movies. It's really hard to choose.
9 films were nominated for Best Picture.
90?
9.
Oh,
9 films.
okay.
They can nominate up to 10 now, if they choose to.
And that really makes it sort of like the Democratic Convention.
Yes.
If you have too many to nominate.
Well, it used to be they'd only nominate 5, and that just limited too many good films. And I'm glad they opened up the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that Parasite could win.
Well, and
you had something about, people talk about Parasite is an international and/or foreign film or foreign language film. So therefore, it shouldn't be in, the American awards. But
it's the first non-English language film to win Best Picture,
but not the first one to be nominated.
No.
Yeah, so there was the one about the guy in the water.
I think Pedro Almodovar's film was nominated for Best Picture.
That's true.
That was in Spanish.
And you know what? That wasn't his best either. So
that was his version of 8.5.
Yeah. So.
But think about opening up things. We're getting more and more breweries and distilleries in Las Cruces.
Wait, are they up for awards for Oscars?
Not yet, but TRC Brewing Company just opened up, or is opening up a new place in the Arroyo Plaza, 2001 East Lowman.
So, is that your only choice when you go to that brewing company? You get T beer or C beer?
T or C.
Or C?
Yeah, I'll take your choice. It's over there in Arroyo Plaza, right next to the new Spanish or Mexican restaurant, Nika's Place.
Which we haven't tried yet, but we have to try it.
We do have to try that.
Yes.
Now, the Icebox out on Picacho, they've just opened up this week.
Yes.
Their newest location here out on the east side of Las Cruces, on Highway 70, Main Street, where the old Burger Time used to be.
But is it further on Highway 70?
Right across the
street
street from Lowe's.
Fiesta.
Across from Lowe's.
From Lowe's?
From Lowe's
wow.
Home improvement store. So that's open this week. We will go there and report back.
You think we'll have to? We also have to see TRC Brewing Company. That's a big hit in TRC, basically because there is nothing else in TRC. I mean, but here we have so much competition. We have an extra Bosky brewery up on Telshore.
Yes, I haven't been to that one yet
Me
either.
neither. We're trying to figure out if they serve wine. We think they don't.
We've got to work it out for us.
Yes, and you went to that taqueria, Ortega, and I tasted it.
Taqueria Chavez,
or whatever.
Yeah, you went there too.
Yeah, it was better than you thought.
Yeah. I didn't care much for it.
Both of you guys said you didn't like it for different reasons.
Yeah.
I know it's different reasons because you eat chicken and he doesn't.
No, he does too.
No, he wouldn't eat chicken. It's too small.
Why, when there's brisket to eat?
Yeah, I know, when there's meat. But it was okay. They did a shrimp quesadilla taco, which was kind of interesting. But as you said, and which I didn't know when I was there, there's a little salsa bar.
They do have a salsa bar. They don't.
They needed it.
You have to search it out to find it.
They really need the salsa there.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot better.
Now, maybe if I had the munchies, I'd enjoyed the food more. But that may not be possible because the New Mexico legislature has pretty much put the kibosh on legalizing recreational marijuana for New Mexico in this session. Primarily, the reason being is that if it's legalized statewide, but there are certain towns and communities that don't want it in their community, they don't have the option of saying, we don't want it. They have to have it. And so many of the legislatures thought that was an unfair thing.
Well, in a way, it's unfair because if you want freedom in your state, shouldn't you have the freedom to choose?
Yes, you should.
And if your city doesn't, there's little things.
Texas has counties that are dry counties where you may not have alcohol unless it's a private club. Wow. The bill also would expunge past pot convictions, and it would also help the medical cannabis program with tax breaks and patient subsidies. So we're losing some good things here by them not passing it.
They
this time around.
There's still a way maybe to get it through, but they don't have much chance for it. I liked your segue into the marijuana as well as your use of the word kibosh. So that's good.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, so.
Now
I'm grading you.
Also thinking of tax breaks and patient subsidies, our president has just asked Congress to cut $465 billion for Medicare, which provides Medicare providers such as hospitals.
I thought we're not allowed to talk about politics.
And slashing EPA.
Are we allowed to talk about
cutting
politics?
$700 billion from Medicaid to pay for tax cuts for his friends. That's affecting people's health, just like the cutting the
marijuana,
the tax breaks for marijuana medical.
That would be good to have.
Now, speaking of the president, Monday is President's Day.
Yeah, but not this president. He might think it's his. It's
every day is his day.
It's Lincoln and Washington, basically, because their birthdays are sort of straddling.
Lincoln and Washington. Why is it just those two?
And Trumping. Why?
Well,
because
they used to have separate holidays.
Those guys were,
Remember?
they just put
combined
together because we wanted to, honor Washington for being our first president.
Yeah.
And Lincoln for the first president that said that blacks were allowed to be Americans.
Yes.
I mean,
he held them as slaves.
Yes.
Yes.
No. They were enslaved.
Oh, not
after
for
Lincoln. After
Not for
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Yes,
But they were for Washington.
He liberated an entire indigenous. Well, they're indigenous because they lived here for 400 years.
Well, we brought them over on ships.
Yeah.
But so President's Day, there's no school that day.
You were brought over on a ship. I know
Ship of fools.
I know you think it was a spaceship, and that's why you always like UFOs. Mommy, mommy.
Okay, well, let's take a break right now. We're going to come back and talk about.
Oh yeah, and we're going to have this part two of
Rob
Roy.
of
Rob Roy
Roy.
2.
We'll be right back after these words. After these 6. I'm driving.
You found us on Channel 98. Keep watching because we have so much in store for you. We want to grow together. Your channel, local and real.
If we want to improve America's healthcare system, let's start by improving the health of Americans. Despite the best doctors, hospitals, and medical advancements, Americans are not as healthy as they should be. We spend too much on treatment and not enough on wellness and prevention. We need a system based on primary care. When patients have a medical home and a long-term relationship with a doctor, the result is a longer, healthier life and reduced medical costs for everyone. Let's make America a place where health is primary.
Horizon Granite is here.
It's here. Horizon Granite is here. We'll come to you to customize your kitchen and bathroom with beautiful countertops and cabinets. Find out more at horizongranite.com. Call us at 575-650-3180.
Horizon Granite is here.
It's here.
Make yourself a beautiful home.
Hi, I'm Ray Bamberg with Here on Earth. I would like to invite you for a free hearing evaluation to our office. We've been here in southern New Mexico for 34 years helping people hear better.
Welcome back to Double Talk. Mark Steffen here.
Michael Mandel here.
We're looking at Glen Moray Scotches. 8
Yes.
years and 10 years old.
Doesn't say 8 years, but we're assuming it's 8 years because it doesn't say it.
You might think we like them young, but actually that's a nice age Scotch.
12 or 8? 8. It takes 8 years to make it really a
Really
Scotch. I think it's
decent,
3
yeah.
years, but where am I?
Unlike these Canadian
So
coffees.
yes, this is a Glen Moray. The last one we did was Glen Moray coming from a port cask, which means port wine.
Port wine was in there before the
Yes.
Scotch was in it.
So that makes it sort of a little heavier than a sherry cask. 2 ounces of this.
We're making Rob Roy's.
This yes, just in case you fell asleep. This is with a Chardonnay cask. We had Chardonnay cask last week with something, and it was very light, and that was with Edredor, which is a nice little thing.
Is it usual to have a white wine cask with a dark
no,
Scotch?
It's not.
I didn't think so.
Because you'd want to knock the darkness with the darkness, but when you do it with a Chardonnay, it's kind of opens up the flavor. So
It's
we
an
did taste
interesting
this.
thing. We're willing to do this experiment, and we do it for you folks out there.
So there it is, 2 ounces of Glen Moray.
We do this as a community service.
Yes. But we take donations.
Please, Michael, start shaking.
Oh, okay. I was, fixing my
Never
hand
mind.
together. Doesn't have to be that cold, right? I mean, I thought the last one was really good, and we're expecting this one to be incredible.
I think it'd be-
right? This is going to be incredible.
I think it's pretty cool.
This is going to be the best one ever.
It's not like we're doing martinis.
No. Oh, Chris Martinez.
And we do have the ever-present lemon rind.
Twist, yes.
Twist,
I
they
would have
call it.
twisted them, but I didn't want to get my fingers all full of lemon.
That's good. So,
Cheers again.
okay.
This is a big drink.
Now, in what way is this one different?
I like the other one better.
This does not have the cokie, right? It has the Dubonnet?
No, it's got Cokie.
The cookie was in the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't change that because we don't want too many variables.
So what are we doing this one?
We're doing this with a 10-year-old Chardonnay
Okay.
cask. You know what? I think the port cask, it's just missing something, don't you think?
I don't know.
It's
perfectly
it's
fine
smooth.
cocktail.
It's smooth, but it doesn't have that little. Maybe it's the red wine from the cask that makes it a little different.
I'm not having a bit of problem with it, Mike.
Well, but it's our job
It's
to
not the same.
discern the differences.
It's not the same.
Yes. If you had your druthers, though, which would you go with to drink for the rest of the day?
I'd have to try.
I'm not
two or
implying
three
anything.
more times
I'm
each.
not implying anything.
But it's good, and I would have no problem recommending this cocktail either.
Yeah,
It's
good.
You know what? If we had this one first and then that way,
Maybe it'll be different.
you know,
No, I don't know. I think I like the
One or
other
the
better
other.
still. But it's really a kind of a small difference. Comes down to the lower tongue palate part. It sort of sits there. It doesn't have. It rests there and doesn't.
I think this
sparkle.
Scotch has a stronger finish to it in this drink.
Yeah,
than
maybe,
that one.
maybe it overpowered that.
Of course, it could be the mixture.
You know, maybe that Koki is like 5 minutes older now, so it's not as fresh.
It's aged.
That's possible. Okay.
Hey, you know,
Now you know our.
the last couple
Try
of
a Rob Roy. I mean,
Rob
Rob Roy
Roy.
is obviously
good
pretty
drink.
good.
Now, have you ever been to the country music festivals that we've had in Las Cruces the past
Yes,
number of years?
I've been dragged there.
And, well, you know, they've moved it up to Mearshite Fields, or next door to the City Service Center. And it used to be downtown, but they outgrew that, you know, in the parking lot
Right,
there.
because first of all, everybody's sitting in a parking lot.
Parking lot.
There's nowhere to park.
Yeah, that's right. So now they've moved it up there. It's on the grass, put up a big stage. Last year it was Dwight Yoakam, or the year before it was Dwight Yoakam, and then this last year they had Johnny Millsap. It was really nice, pleasant. Ronnie Millsap. There was a lot of vendors all around. I made a lot of good contacts there, and it was very.
You made a lot of good contacts there?
I did with the vendors, yeah.
With the vendors?
Uh-huh. And it
What
was.
did you do, sell your goods?
Yeah, I just chatted with them, and so it's a very pleasant night out, but we may not have it this year.
You mean because of all the dirty
malfeasance.
dealings?
All the malfeasance at the
trickery?
what used to be called the Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's now called Visit Las Cruces, and you know, people have been, the heads of it have been fired.
This is sort of over, well, what I read, which was cursory, an $8,000, something's missing, right?
There's missing money.
there more?
They were forcing the employees for the city to
Oh,
work
without
without
overtime.
pay, $20,000 worth.
Wow, who's that guy who made $20,000 but
Yeah.
didn't make it? Oh, you mean cumulatively?
Yes, that should have been paid overtime.
I don't want to say anything, but you kind of wonder, you know, the city is now running the Rio Grande Theater, which the Arts Council used to, and then
Correct.
we used to get volunteers. The city has to pay all the people that work it there.
Yes, yes,
So.
yes, indeed. And where my film series is screening there on a monthly basis.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
My
and
film series.
Coming up on the 25th of February, by the way,
Yeah.
is my next film screening of obscure films. We're showing The Royal Hunt of the Sun.
Do you have a visual of that?
We don't, next week.
Because no, we're not going to have the visual now. You're just getting us ready.
I'm just getting this ready.
So Google it.
The Royal Hunt of the Sun, 1969.
Yes.
It's based on the play by Peter Schaffer.
Is that where they take a lot of hearts out on top of Aztec pyramids?
Well, we'll see, won't we?
I don't know.
Because he covered that subject in Equus, you know.
An Equus.
When he wrote Equus.
Yeah.
But he
He-
wrote
he
this
didn't cover
before
it.
he wrote Equus.
Did he?
Yes.
Wow.
And
Equus played here at the university after a court case, which was decided in favor of it playing. Because Equus,
Yes.
you have a naked scene, and Judge Bratton ruled for the play to go on.
I was there at that ruling.
Were you?
I went to the hearing.
Wow.
Yes.
That's the person that my wife did her,
Yes.
she did her clerkship under him.
Yes, now
After that.
Judge Bratton is a federal judge.
He's dead.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, there's a new judge.
Oh,
Bratton.
okay. And so, we don't know if there's going to be
New Judge
a
Bratton.
Las Cruces Music Festival in October or not. Stay tuned, we'll let you know. Now, February is
If you're tuned, that would mean
For the
Channel
Love of Art
98.
Month.
Yes, and we've been having lots of art. This weekend there are many galleries open and people's houses are open and you can
Yes,
go.
there are studio tours.
Yes, and go on all
Look for the blue flags. The studio tours are February 15th, 16th, and 22nd and 23rd. That's Saturday and Sunday.
this weekend.
The hours of operation on Saturday from 10 to 4, and on Sundays from 12 to 4.
And you could look that up on either in the bulletin or in the Pulse.
Yeah, and
Because we can't tell you
not this week's Pulse.
how many there are. There is a lot of
If
them.
you go to one studio, look for the blue flag outside, they will give you a map.
One studio.
And then you
any
know-
studio you can get to
Yes.
every other studio.
Art studio.
Yes.
Then you know
And
where else to go.
Those of you who are new to art, well, there's 130 families that moved here from the Mojave Desert. You know, for
Who could
Virgin
blame them?
Atlantic.
Oh, yes.
Because this is so cultural. In fact, we were at a HRTM dinner, the Hotel Restaurant Managed dinner, and somebody was at our table who moved here from Northern California, and he was pleased with how many cultural things there are to do here.
He moved out here for Virgin Atlantic?
No, he moved out here just because he's retired and
Oh.
his daughter made him.
So he's
But
a snowbird.
no, he's not a snowbird. He bought a house. He's staying here.
So he's staying.
We're
Very
going to start. You know, we're going to have him on the show.
Also, this weekend is the final closing weekend for Arsenic and Old Lace at the Las Cruces Community Theater.
How many times have you seen that in your life? 3?
Well, let's see. I saw the Community Theater do it twice before.
We did it twice there. Now it's a third time.
It's one of the old chestnuts that community theaters do.
But you know what? Everybody has their own version. It's like when people do covers of songs.
Cary Grant was in the film version. Now, also on Saturday, today is
what's that?
the sale of Mayan textiles.
Really? The Mayans don't need them anymore?
From Chiapas, Mexico. Is from 10 to 4. And that's at 525 East Loman, Suite C, which is upstairs.
Where is
That's a two-story building.
525 Loman? Is that like across from Royal Plaza?
No.
Do you have any? Where is it?
No, it's kind of, you know that restaurant that we used to sponsor before it went out of business?
Oh, yes.
Right
Oh,
near
that's
there.
a-
Right
so-
near there. It's a two-story building.
Also my real estate agent.
And also, coming up, the Las Cruces International Film Festival.
Is it 48 hour or 24 hour?
They're putting on the
I
48-hour
thought it
film
was
challenge.
24.
Oh, you're wrong.
I'm
It's
wrong?
a 48-hour film
You have
challenge.
so much time. Anybody can make a movie in 48 hours.
If you want to make a film in 48 hours to write it, shoot it, edit it, and present it, you could do that. And if you want to find out about it and get going on it, the meeting to get going on it is Friday the 28th at 6 o'clock p.m. at Salud Restaurant in Mesilla. There's a $15 entry fee. Now, if you win, there's a jury prize of $400, and there's an audience prize for $100.
And if you're good on your cell phone, you could do your entire movie on a cell phone.
You're really good.
And do it that way.
And-
so the same weekend the Las Cruces International Film Festival is, which is the first full weekend in March,
yes.
is also the Las Cruces Art Fair at the Las Cruces Convention Center.
And we'll have more on that as it comes up.
Yes. but
Now, if you make your 48-hour film, they will screen them in the festival up at Telshore 10 on the 7th, and that's at 4 o'clock. And then the awards ceremony will be at 7 o'clock, and that's when you find out if you won.
So what do they got from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock to see the movies, and then you have to...
They watch them at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
They've got to be short because you
I
made it in
guess
48
so,
hours.
man. 48 hours, you can make a 48-hour movie. I mean, that's what my life is about, a 48-hour movie.
Why can't you make a film in the same amount of time it takes to watch it?
You tell me, you're the guy who took that as a class. I never took that as a class. If you were writing a play and it took you 3 weeks to write the play,
Yeah.
you have to trim down those 3 weeks.
Well,
'Cause,
you wouldn't have to take 3 weeks to watch it.
no, but to rehearse,
Unless
it takes
it's-
6 weeks.
unless it's
usually.
really
Takes
good.
6 weeks. Oh, look, we're getting our...
We're out of time, folks.
Which hour are you? We never decided. Are you the one going that way or the one going that way? Are you left or right?
We'll let you know
You're
next
left.
week.
You're independent. I go up.
My arrow goes up.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed that. So next time, wear something on your lap.
Thanks for joining us right here on Double Talk.
Cheers. Have a
These Rob Roys are good.
These are good.